What's up, airplane collectors? Welcome to a model airplane review. It's your host Ray. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the NG model 1-400 scale Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900 in the More Love Special livery. In this video, I'll talk about the box, then the model itself, and at the end of the video, I will give my personal opinion about what I think of the model and whether or not I recommend it to other collectors. Before I begin my review, I'd like to give a special shout out to Matthew's Aviation channel for waiting so long for me to make this review. It's been a few months since I've had this on the backlog. So Matthew, if you're watching, huge thanks for requesting a lot of the reviews that I've made on this channel, and thank you for your patience. I've had a busy schedule, and finally, I'm making this video. Better late than never, I suppose. And yeah, that being said, let's get this review started. Starting off the box is a standard issue NG model 737 box at 13 centimeters lengthwise and height-wise, and 3.5 centimeters wide. I'll show you around the box now. So here's the front, bottom, right side, top, left side, and the back side. Included in the box is the model itself, fully assembled, painted, and ready to go, and a yellow Collector Rewards Program card. Before I begin my review, I'm going to give you a quick 360 of the model. The fuselage length for this model is 11 centimeters, wingspan is 9 centimeters, and it's 3.5 centimeters tall. Accurate to 1-400 scale, pretty small, and this model is also a little bit heavy for its size because it's made primarily out of die-cast metal. Starting off the review with the fuselage, here's the nose section of the fuselage. Looks pretty good. Nose shape is good as per usual with NG 737 mold. Lots of printed detail to go around here, and I definitely am going to spend a bit more time talking about the paint due to this aircraft's unique paint scheme. So overall, everything up here looks pretty good. No complaints. Got an Alaska title there. Yeah, all details seem to be in place. Printed detail looks good. Now, as I move down the fuselage, you're gonna see the paint fade from the hot red to a pink to a purple to a nice dark blue to a very dark blue. This color fade has been the subject of debate among model collectors from the last time I checked. I do believe this color fade is mostly accurate to the real aircraft, or it was accurate, because unfortunately the real life counterpart of this model was repainted in 2023. Screw you, Alaska, that was a really beautiful livery that you just sent down the drain. Anywho, everything looks pretty good. The More Love title looks pretty good as well. It is italicized as it should be, so NG did pretty good on this one. There were some discrepancies with the More Love title and the color fade on their A321neo that they did last year. However, this one I believe is a bit more accurate and better done than the one on the A321 that they did last year. But aside from that, everything looks really good on the fuselage, and I have nothing to complain about so far. And here's the vertical stabilizer. This looks pretty good, no complaints. A little thing that I do notice is you can see the light blue paint here, part of the Alaska logo. You can actually see where the layering of that goes under the silver paint here on the leading edge of the vertical stabilizer. It's kind of interesting. I don't see it poking through necessarily, but you can definitely see how the layering went on. Actually, no, yes, it is poking through that metallic paint right there. I'll try and zoom in on that for you, but so... Oh, much better. Jeez, I'm still getting used to this camera, but you can see a bit of blue paint right here poking through the silver metallic. Yeah, small paint application issue, but that still is an issue. And what do you know, it goes to the other side too. So yeah, at least it's symmetrical. I do prefer my symmetry, but still, yeah, that is a little bit of an issue there. Vertical stabilizer on the right side looks pretty good as well, no complaints. And I'll move down the fuselage now. Fuselage on the right side looks really good as well. All can be said about the right side as with the left side, so I won't provide much commentary here. But yeah, overall, fuselage is really good, no complaints, only that paint application issue on the vertical stabilizer, which it's really small, honestly. Moving on to the wing, here's the wing. The wings on this model are very nicely detailed. We've got all sorts of painted, printed, and molded detail to see on the wing here. Painted detail in the form of the silver paint on the leading edge of the just the leading edge of the wing, sorry. I do notice that, okay, never mind, I thought a speck of the silver paint got onto the wing. But yeah, paint application seems pretty consistent, no complaints. Printed detail, we've got the overwing exit markings and the wing markings, and the molded detail is those very clearly defined control surfaces. Overall, very good on the wing, nothing short of what I normally expect from NG. Here's the bottom of the wing. You can see my fingerprints on there. I gotta treat these things a little bit better. But yeah, very nicely detailed. The scimitar tips on this model are decent. Now, normally NG does a pretty good job on these. However, you can see on my model that the left scimitar is bent a little bit high. Actually, yeah, no, that is bent by a significant amount. I don't see any paint chipping associated with that, so I won't harp on it too much, but that is still an issue that is present on this model. And yeah, not exactly optimal. But still, regardless, the colors and the shape of these is pretty nice, just that curve is a little bit questionable. The one on the right side, though, is properly done, so I think this might be an isolated issue, but I have seen this happen increasingly on NG models. I do have a few other 737s with this issue as well. Something I just noticed is that the scimitars are two completely different, well, not completely different colors, but they're two noticeably different colors. It's a bit more purple and reddish on the left side, but a lot more saturated blue on the right side. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but if it is, nice touch. If it's not accurate, oh boy. So right from here, I'll move on to the tail section. Tail section of the plane looks pretty good. No complaints here. There's not too much detail to put down here anyway, so I won't harp over it too much. APU looks pretty good. Oh wow, okay, it seems as though they improved a little bit. There is a lighter gray ring around a darker gray spot, which that looks pretty nice. I definitely appreciate that feature. Down here, there's not that much to see. I don't have any complaints down here either. So good job on the tail section. Moving on to the engines. The engines of this model are painted a reflective red, which looks fabulous. It looks really good in my opinion. I think it looks pretty solid. The exhaust nozzles are good, engine shape is good, and profile seems to be fine. Just kidding about that exhaust nozzle. You can see that one of them is bent upwards, downwards in your orientation since the model is upside down. But yeah, it's bent slightly upwards. Small issue, but still an issue. Printed detail on the engines is good as per usual though, so that's the only real issue I have with the engines. Here's what the fan blades look like. Look nice being painted that dark metallic gray. Moving on to aerial features, this model features sat domes and 3D antennas. We've got two 3D antennas on the top of the aircraft here. These look pretty good. We have a big one towards the middle and a smaller one towards the back. I do notice this one might be a little bit too small. Nothing too serious, but it is noticeably smaller than what I've seen in the past. Sat dome looks really good. It integrates with the fuselage very well. I don't see really much of a gap at all between the sat dome and the fuselage. So very nicely done on NG's part there. And on the bottom of the aircraft, we also have the three large antennas down here. Got one towards the front and two towards the midsection. These look pretty good as well. I haven't seen any attachment issues with these either, so quality control on the antennas is pretty good. Now moving on to the landing gear. Landing gear on this model is nicely detailed. Looks like it's actually bent backwards like it should be. NG has had trouble with this for quite a while now, but at least the gear positioning is accurate, and the wheels do roll. They're made out of rubber and they roll very smoothly. Gear is very detailed as well, so good job on NG with the landing gear. Here is the nose gear. Looks pretty good. You can see the 900ER title on there. I can even read that. Wow. Printed detail on this model is definitely not lacking. So gear is pretty good on the model as well. Here's a view at the front of the aircraft, and I do notice quite a few things that I didn't expect to see up here. So obviously we can see that the left scimitar is bent. I did point that out earlier. Now, something that is genuinely surprising to me. The gear balance does not appear to be exactly perfect. It's probably because it's sitting on the box. Okay, no, gear balance is fine, but what I do notice is that cockpit window printing. I'll try and focus the camera there. So that cockpit window printing is asymmetrical. It looks like it's unbalanced, and that nose gear looks to be tilted off to the side as well. So quality control in this model was not as good as I anticipated or initially thought. Also, the right engine appears to be rather bent, or something went wrong with the shape of it there, because you can see it's definitely not flat relative to the ground as it is on the left engine, which is correctly done. Yeah, very interesting about what happened there. I'm not sure. I'm not used to seeing this on an NG model. And that's the end of my review. So definitely an interesting one to say the least. First off, I will have to include my opinion here. It's a beautiful livery, it's a beautiful aircraft. The paint is done very well on this model as it was on the real aircraft. So the paint job is good. However, quality control, as you can see on my example, wasn't exactly the best, especially that cockpit window printing. That's a little bit of a surprise from NG since I haven't seen them do that in a while. And the scimitar tip issue, that's an issue that's been happening on NG 737 since I believe it was 2020. It's not consistent, but it can happen. There's a decent chance that it happens. So yeah, just be aware of that. But aside from that, the model is solid. It's pretty decent. Just know that it might have some quality control issues, but I still recommend it nonetheless. The livery is beautiful, and I think most collectors would love to have this in their collection. Well, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more model airplane content that I have planned for the near future. And yeah, that's all I've got for you. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Happy collecting. Take care of yourselves. See you next time.